So, no, I wouldn't say I have a passion for HR.
Welcome back to Human Resources for the People. It's a human capital revolution. Today I'm going to be doing a comparison of US and UK labor law, and I think it's an interesting opportunity. I frequently hear discussions in the United States, oh, if we only had stronger employee rights, then there would be fewer problems and people would be put out less, so forth. Understood the concept, understood what we think might happen when when stronger labor laws are put into place. But I wanted to go to the UK and talk about this situation, which is Gimson versus Display by Design. And the employer, Display by Design Limited, they had a party at an external venue. Gimson was walking home with a colleague after the office Christmas party. They started arguing after walking home between him and his colleague, and he punched his colleague, a separate colleague who was trying to defuse the situation. Then the employer began to dig into the disciplinary procedure, dig into the investigation into what actually happened, and as a result, there was no provocation, and they were dismissed for gross misconduct. So, it's fairly on its face, simple argument over a Christmas party. Employee punched another colleague. And so Gimson raised this to the Employment Tribunal in the United Kingdom and said that the incident didn't happen at work and his punishment was too severe. And so the Employment Tribunal discussed this, reviewed it, and said, well, it was connected to work and it impacted the working environment, and firing was, as a result, a reasonable response. And so I find that the tribunal found ultimately that if they had not been at the work party, they would not have been together, and that the assault wouldn't have happened. In the United States, you can't guarantee anything in the United States with respect to how this would have ran. There are absolutely shops that would not have fired this person just because they don't really fire anyone, and there isn't this sort of consideration for what happens after hours. But at many, this person would have been terminated in the United States, and the result would have been ultimately the same, right? Incidents outside of work absolutely can result in termination, and specifically violence in the workplace or outside of work that's provoked by work can be terminable. So I found that there are, of course, a lot of employee protections in the United Kingdom. There are employee protections that prevent unjust dismissal, and they're pretty significant. Even this employment tribunal doesn't really exist in the United States. So I wanted to really quickly cover what an employment tribunal in the United Kingdom is. It's a legal body that resolves disputes related to employment law. It provides a forum for individuals and employers to address various employment issues without resorting to traditional court proceedings. Employment tribunals handle a wide range of cases, including unfair dismissal, discrimination, wage disputes, a breach of contract, and other employment-related matters. Tribunal system is designed to be accessible and less formal than a regular court, allowing parties to present their cases without the need for legal representation, though parties can choose to have legal representation if they wish. Employment tribunals are presided over by employment judges, who are legal professionals with expertise in employment law. Before it goes to an employment tribunal, individuals are required to go through a process considered to be known as early conciliation, where there's an attempt made to settle the dispute through mediation or negotiation. If an agreement cannot be reached during early conciliation, the individual can then proceed to file a claim with the employment tribunal. The decisions of employment tribunals are legally binding, and they have the authority to award compensation or order other remedies to address the issues raised in the case. And so I wanted to compare this, quite briefly to the United States, where there isn't really these discussions surrounding, for example, unfair dismissal or wage disputes or breach of contract, things of that nature. For one, contracts are very rare in the United States, and unfair dismissal very rarely happens, quite frequently under American law. I think there's quite a few people who find it to be unfair, but that's another topic altogether. And the Department of Labor handles wage disputes as well as any other issues in employment-related matters. So this was an interesting view into the United Kingdom system and to understand understanding what they have going on and what we can understand for the United States. I think that there is some value in some sort of arbitration system in the United States, like the Employment Tribunal, but I find that too often it's very heavy-handed or very in favor of the employer, and as a result, it doesn't always have the means, the teeth that most employees want. Let me know what you think about the employment tribunals. If you are a citizen of the United Kingdom, in the comments down below, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.